Hi, I'm Sally. I'm cooking today bean burgers. I like to eat well and I like to use chopping and peeling to relax. In front of me here I've got an onion, some garlic, courgette, a little bit of celery. I've got black beans, which are you could use kidney beans, you can substitute them, and I've got a kind of lentil called lentil, which is a small lentil. And the reason I'm using different beans is to make the bean burger have more texture. And to flavour it, obviously the onion, salt and pepper. I like to use a little bit of cumin. I've got smoked paprika and I've got sweet paprika, and I'm going to put in a spoonful of salsa. But you could use ketchup, or you could use tomato puree, or nothing. You could chop up a pepper. And eventually what we're going to end up with is patties, and they're a little bit fragile, so you have to let them chill before you cook them. So first thing is to do the onion. Everyone's got their own method of peeling an onion. Garlic, I like to crush it like this. Makes me feel all powerful. So when you crush garlic, you get different chemicals that come out of it. And raw garlic is very good for you, but we're going to use cooked garlic here. I forgot to mention the celery. It's a nice bit of flavour, and that's just going to cook down with the onions. And the reason you cook the onions first is because otherwise they might not cook as fast as the beans. Obviously the beans are a bit floury. So that's all going to go into the pan. So I'm just going to grate my courgette. I'm going to use about, that much. You could put in a pepper or an apple if you like it sweeter. So there we've got the courgette. I think I'll fry that too. So I'm going to put a bit of oil in my pan, which I've got on a medium heat. It doesn't need much oil, a spoonful or two. That's enough. And then I've got my onions, garlic and courgette there. So I'm going into the pan. And I'll give them a bit of a stir. I want them to dry out a little bit as well as soften. It's going to take a minute to get up to heat, so there we go. I'll put a bit of salt and pepper on. Salt. Turn the heat up a bit. Lovely. I've got just one of these ordinary stick blenders, but you can just use a fork. I'm going to put in the black beans. I'm going to leave a few out so you've got some nice texture, because they're really pretty. I'm going to put in some of the lentils. I cook these lentils, but you can buy them in a tin, so you don't have to do that. I'm going to put in a bit of cumin. So this is where you can add your spices as you like. I put salt and pepper in already, so I won't do that. I'm going to use smoked paprika, which gives it that kind of barbecue flavour, if you like that. That's going to be half a teaspoon. And then I'm going to put in, this is, like I said, it's just a ready-made salsa, but tomato ketchup is just as good. I just don't have any ketchup, so that's why it's not going in. So just one good wallop of that. And I'll get ready for a bit of noise. I'll give it a stir. And it's a lovely colour. So there you have it. It's a lovely dark colour because of the black beans. Put it into this bowl. Some of the unpureed lentils, the rest of the black beans, and this lovely gloop. So I'm going to give that a stir. So you can see the texture. It's got those little lumps and bumps that make life interesting. And I'm getting a lovely smoky smell, which is from the smoked paprika. So that's ready and waiting for the onion mixture, which is over here just cooking off. I added a bit of chilli to the mix because my daughter asked me to. This is all nice, looking nice and cooked, a little bit translucent, a little bit golden. And I've got my cake out of the oven, so we're all ready. And I'm just going to tip this in. What you've got now is soft onion, and the courgette is cooked down a little bit as well. So I'm just going to mix them around. And the onions are going to give a little bit of texture as well, because you can see that I didn't chop them that finely. So I'll just wash my hands, and then I'm going to make the patties. So I'm going to mush this up a bit with my hands. It feels quite wet. If you don't like to do this, you can get a cup or something and use that as a form, but I don't mind. So as you can see, there's quite a lot of this. So I'm going to push it in there to the edges. There you have a nice patty. And these are all going to go into the fridge and chill. There we go. Oh, it smells really nice. It smells really smoky. There we are. So there we've got 6 patties. I'm going to make some creamy mayonnaise-y stuff to go on it, and then we're going to have a little tomato salad salsa, and then we'll have it with some lettuce. And if you like it in a bun, have it in a bun, but we're going to have it, I think, with a plate of salad. Six lovely lentil burgers or bean burgers, but they're all ready. They just need, you see how soft they are, so if you let them chill, they'll get a bit firmer. And then the way we're going to cook them is we're going to put them in a pan, an oiled pan, and just cook each side, and then they're going to cook in the oven to get really nice and hot through, and they'll be really crisp and nice. So with a burger, people often want a bit of mayonnaise. So I put in a spoonful of low-fat mayonnaise, and then I put in some quark, which has got no fat in it, and it's like a really creamy cheese. It's not yogurt. It's different to yogurt. And you can see it's not coming off the spoon so easily. And I mix the two together, and this just gives, the mayonnaise just gives it a bit of flavour. So just beat it together like that. And then I put into this a little bit of lemon juice. So I've squeezed lemon, but you could just, if you want it a bit looser, you could just put in some water. But I like lemon, I like that flavour. And it gives, see it's getting all creamy, much looser, so that then it will spread on your burger nicely, melts on it. There it is. I'm getting all my stuff together. I like it very lemony, so that's lucky. And look, beautiful. It's all ready. Waiting for when my burger moment comes. Creamy. I'm making some salsa. And I like to do it from fresh, but you can buy salsa in a jar. So I take the seeds out, and I usually use them in something else, because otherwise it makes the salsa a bit loose. I'm going to use 2 tomatoes, 2 fresh ones. You can use tin tomatoes, it's okay. I'm going to use, I've got some garlic, I'll just use a couple of cloves. There they are. I'm going to use an onion, and I'm going to use some spices. I've got pimento, cumin, and I've got a little mix which is a cheat, which is seasonal, so that's got onion. I think I put some cinnamon in. I'm going to put in coriander. This is going to go in the blender to make it a little bit finer, and then we're going to put in lime juice and some olive oil. So again, it's about texture. So I'll put some of the tomato in the blender, and some of it I'll chop myself. Close. And then the raw garlic, that's very good for your immune system, and of course tastes fabulous. go in. Most of the coriander, salt, pepper. And my secret ingredient, harissa. And there we've got lots of texture. So put that in there. And I put in my bits of tomato that are very roughly chopped. And lime juice. And then stir it about. I don't have a spoon, so I'm using a knife. You can put anything in this. You can put apple, a bit of honey, make it hotter or sweeter as you like. So there we've got the two relishes we're having with the bean burger when we have them. And now I'm going to cook the bean burgers. Okay, so I put a bit of oil on, and to keep down how much I'm using, I use a brush. Now I'm only going to put on 3 because otherwise you can't really lift them properly. What you want is you want to get a little crust on each side, and then it's going to go in the oven. And I've got a baking sheet with some greaseproof paper here. Let's have a little look. So, a bit of crust. Flatten it a little bit there. So it's browning, drying a little bit. So you've got that little bit of crispiness before you bite into it. And then you get squishy. And then you're going to have salsa and that creamy, quarky, mayonnaise-y thing and some salad. I'm getting quite hungry now. So I'm going to hoik it out. Hoik. Oh look, oh yeah, that looks right. So there we are. It's got a nice crust on it. It's going to go on here. Wait for its friend. So there we have them. They've got a nice crust on. And they're going into the oven for a quarter of an hour, 20 minutes. It's 180.